1. The first signal. At 0517 local time, the destroyer USS Gravely stirred from its calm routine. A low mechanical rumble echoed through the decks as the forward gun mount powered up. Moments later, a sharp announcement pierced the silence over the internal comms. Condition 3. Set in man, all key stations. No confusion. No hesitation. Every sailor on board knew what that meant. A potential threat was closing in. 3 unidentified surface contacts were racing toward the Gravely from the southwest, their radar signatures tightening, their speed rising. On the tactical screen, 3 markers appeared: Sierra 1, 2, 3. Their origin was unmistakable. Venezuelan Navy. 2. Orders in motion. The captain didn't shout. He didn't need to. His words moved through the ship like current through wire. Precise, controlled, absolute. Below deck, the Combat Information Center tracked the incoming vessels. Contacts closing fast at 28 knots, bearing 243. The destroyer's 5-inch gun rotated a few degrees. Not enough to threaten, but enough to warn. Visual confirmation? Negative, sir. Small hulls, likely patrol craft. No large radar returns, no heavy displacement, just speed and intent. Whoever commanded those boats knew exactly how close they could get without crossing the line. 3. The rising tension. The electronic warfare suite came online, its sensors spreading wide across the spectrum. Every signal, every echo, recorded. On deck, sailors stared toward the horizon, where dawn had yet to rise. They couldn't see the boats, only faint streaks of motion over the dark sea. They'd seen this before, foreign vessels pushing boundaries. But this one felt different. Caracas was already on edge, and Gravely was patrolling just shy of Venezuelan-claimed waters. The captain's standing order was simple: show presence. A phrase that meant stay calm, stay visible, stay in control. 4. Controlled friction. The USS Gravely wasn't here by accident. For weeks, U.S. destroyers and Coast Guard cutters had been operating under Operation Sentinel South, targeting smuggling routes linked to Venezuelan waters. Officially, it was law enforcement. In reality, it was deterrence. And just 4 days earlier, a U.S. helicopter had intercepted and sunk a smuggler boat near Curaçao after it ignored multiple warnings. Caracas called it aggression. Washington called it policing. Now, Venezuela's Navy was responding in kind. 5. The Aegis awakes deep inside the Gravely. The Aegis combat system fused radar, sonar, and electronic intercepts into a single digital map. Every crew member could see the same thing: 3 small, fast-moving contacts approaching deliberately. The ship's CIWS spun to life, the close-in defense gun that could unleash a wall of metal in seconds. The 5-inch deck gun hummed on standby, barrel lock southwest. In the sky above, the flight deck came alive. The MH-60R Seahawk, call sign Razor 21, received clearance for launch. At 5:19, the helicopter rose into the gray Caribbean dawn. Its mission: eyes on target, no weapons hot. 6. Eyes on the sea from altitude. Razor 21 spotted them. 3 small patrol boats, forming a loose V. Their wakes slashed through the waves like white scars. Through the FLIR camera, the crew saw flags, sensor masts, and movement on deck. Razor 21 to Gravely, 3 hulls confirmed, speed 28 knots, steady course. Copy that. Maintain observation. The destroyer held course. Its radar tracked the vessels precisely, but its targeting systems stayed cold. Every decision now carried weight. A misread could mean escalation. 7. The challenge. By 0522, the boats were within 5 nautical miles, close enough for the crews to see one another. The Gravely transmitted a warning: Venezuelan naval vessels, this is a United States warship operating in international waters. You are closing at high speed. Alter course immediately. Seconds passed. Then a tense reply came through, thick with accent and defiance. U.S. Warship, you are near our territorial waters. Identify your mission. This is USS Gravely. We are conducting lawful operations. Maintain safe separation. The boats slowed slightly, drifting to Gravely's starboard side. Still too close, still watching. It was no longer a maneuver. It was a message. 8. The rule of restraint. Every sailor aboard knew the unspoken truth. It's easier to start a war than to explain one. Under U.S. Navy rules of engagement, lethal force can only be used against a clear, hostile act or intent. Speed alone isn't enough. Even radar lock might not justify it. So Gravely held steady. The ship's sensors watched. Weapons remained sealed. The air itself seemed to hum with patience. 9. The withdrawal. By 0534, the Venezuelan boats turned east. No final transmission, no acknowledgement, just a quiet retreat that said, "We've made our point." The Gravely stayed on course. Every radar sweep, every radio call, every system temperature was logged and archived. Evidence for the analysts back home. Razor 21 circled once more before heading back to the flight deck. Above the water, the patrol craft reformed along their coastline, fading into the distance. 10. Aftermath. Hours later, analysts in Washington would dissect the event frame by frame. Was it a test, a political signal, or payback for a sunken smuggler? For the sailors aboard the Gravely, none of that mattered. They'd executed their mission, upheld the rules, and kept a standoff from turning into a firefight. This was no accident and no coincidence. It was deliberate, a message written not in words, but in motion. 11. The question. Out here in waters where borders blur and tempers flare, every action carries meaning. One wrong move could rewrite the balance of the Caribbean. So here's the question. If you were in command of the USS Gravely that morning, would you have held your fire or shown force? Let me know where you stand, sailors, and remember, in the Navy, sometimes the hardest thing to do is nothing at all.